Hi, welcome to She Spice. It's wild the number of superstars that are getting hauled into the entire Diddy wreck. Isn't it like we have a Usher Tame Factory, Cuba Gooding Jr., Youthful Miami, and presently the furthest down the line versions Will Smith and his BFF Duane Martin. So despite the fact that Will and Duane weren't explicitly named in the new claim against Diddy Lisa Raye McCoy, is saying they ought to have been incorporated in any case since they're supposedly associated with comparable tricks. Currently, Will Smith's been up to speed on a few hot tales before recalling November 2023, when his previous aide, Bilal, spilled some significant tea during a meeting with YouTuber Tasha K. Supposedly, Will and Duane were trapped in a few compromising grown-up exercises in Duane's changing area. I make the way for Duane's changing area, and that is the point at which I see Duane having sex with Will. Bal said there was a lounge chair, and Will was twisted around on the lounge chair, and Duane was standing up. Kay phrasing him, it was there, he added. So I opened the entryway to the Duane changing area, and that is the point at which I see Duane, and having butt-centric with Will Bal, made sense of the fact that he was looking for Smith in the wake of getting calls from makers on his walkie-talkie and telephone asking him to find Will and take him back to the arrangement of an anonymous creation. Will denied it. Obviously, the cases made by Bal were unequivocally misleading. A representative for the Men in Dark entertainer called the declarations totally created and said Smith was thinking about making a legitimate move over the allegations. Yet that worked up a few old charges. Lisa Raye made a guarantee against Duane, guaranteeing he took her better half and urging him to swindle. He became discourteous with acquainting my significant other with various ladies that we truly knew as companions and partners at the time. She asserted that after she presented her at that point, spouse previous Turks and Kos Island's chief Michael Mick to Duane, the two developed so close that she at last lost her accomplice to her co-star. She additionally asserted that the entertainer disregarded her by empowering her lawmaker husband to be untrustworthy to her. I lost my significant other to Duane Martin, the entertainer who expressed it during the 2019 meeting, which is currently recycling around the web in some way or another. Inside that relationship, I lost my better half to Duane Martin. Lisa Raye strolled down the walkway with Michael in April 2006, and not long after, she chose to place her acting vocation on hold and left Hollywood for Turks and Kos so she could zero in full-time on her. As a newly discovered woman, she made sense of the unfiltered fact that abandoning her loved ones and acclimating to her new life was difficult for her. Here I am on this island. Yes, it's delightful. Yet I have no companions, no family, and no profession. She dished also. She said that Michael was voyaging a ton for his work, while she would remain behind to participate in different commitment or appearances on the island. Feeling desolate and yearning to go home, she chose to welcome her dear companion Duane to come visit her and Michael in Turks and Kos. Yet she called acquainting her previous co-star with her better half the most terrible thing she could possibly do, truly to be very genuine. Then he became companions with Duane Martin, which used to be one of my companions on us all. And when I presented them, that was perhaps of the most awful thing I could possibly do. Duane and Michael turned out to be preferable companions over me and my significant other, and I was unable to comprehend that for hell's sake, she said. Duane acquainted my significant other with various ladies that we really knew as companions and partners. He became impolite with acquainting my significant other with various ladies that we truly knew as companions and partners. I'm believing you're my companion. I acquainted you with him. What are you doing? I'm still sort of befuddled by that. One, she closed. Obviously, me and Duane don't F with one another at all. F him. I acquaint you with him. What are you doing? I'm still sort of confounded about that one. So obviously me and Duane don't with one another at all. Can't, seems like Duane could have an example with wedded men. And afterward, there's Trisha Piss ringing in blaming Will Smith for supposedly driving her male a artists into a few genuinely awkward circumstances. As per her, those artists wound up accomplishing something beyond moving and not by decision. What about stress over your duping husband? My male artists. You know, when they would have rather not reputed likewise. Has it that Will Duane and Diddy may be facilitating a few not-so-guiltless social affairs? Panther Wright even claims they draw in more youthful men under the folks of tutoring just to supposedly drive them into connections that leave them damaged, and young fellows have gone out shouting to move away from them in their mentorship. Mild factory basher, dim and discussing submissive plant. He close by usher were uncovered in Lil Bar's claim as one individual that frequently arrived at these oddities. Rodney didn't expressly specify resigned factory and usher's names in the claim as he did with every other person, yet he gave a few depictions that had unmistakable detail that essentially made everyone know who he was discussing, like he portrayed Quiet as a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj and portrayed Usher as a male R&B vocalist who performed at the Super Bowl and had an effective Vegas residency. Mr. Combs informed Mr. A. Jones that he had taken part in a rapper 5 that is redacted to look 5. He's a Philadelphia rapper who dated Mick Minaj, Compliant Factory, and Come On Brother, and afterward the following individual R&B vocalist 6 performed at a Super Bowl and had an effective Vegas residency. Currently, I'm certain all of you know that Quiet is certainly a rapper from Philadelphia who dated Nicki from 2015 to 2017. Attendant likewise had an extremely effective Vegas residency, which apparently netted more than $100 million, and he did, as a matter of fact, perform at the Super 2 or 3 weeks prior. In any case, returning to Rodney's claim, he guaranteed that he saw Usher and Diddy attaching a few times and making out with the young ladies that youthful Miami and Justin would bring for him. Rodney reviewed the time when they were celebrating on Diddy's yacht, and he saw both Resigned and Usher screwing with a few young ladies. Now, when this news hit, Compliant went into overdrive via virtual entertainment shooting tweets left and squarely in a mad endeavor to demonstrate his innocence. Yet we should simply say the internet-based local area wasn't precisely purchasing what he was. He additionally got into an enormous Twitter quarrel with DJ Scholastics, who was just giving an account of the news, like Envision going after someone who's taking care of his business. One of his tweets expressed, "I'm from Philly, I don't do or FRE, a Molly. No one won't much offer me since I'm that weighty. No man or what could at any point move toward me about gay action, and the entire spot don't get flipped awakened." Seeing this on each blog like they realize I'm coming AOL things a tad with people understanding that Docile appeared to be on the edge of an anxiety attack and no one needed to drive him further. That is, until Diddy's ex-guardian dropped a sensation. A brief snippet supposedly highlighting Tame, and Diddy the shockwaves were discernible. I mean, the voices on that recording are pretty darn close to Compliant and Diddy, and the substance, we should say it wasn't simple listening. Easygoing's shouts purportedly in serious trouble sent shudders down the spine of any individual who heard it trigger admonition. This sound is extremely upsetting and very applause delicate. Now, the ex-protector being referred to, who recorded and released the sound, made a whole video describing how it came out. He said it occurred during one of Diddy's oddity-offs, and he chose to incline, by the way, to record what he was hearing, because he was stunned to see me permitting Diddy to pound him like this. He said, "Diddy deliberately spiked everyone's beverages at that party so they would be as well and excessively high to try and know what's happening, yet he didn't drink. And that is the reason he was level-headed to the point of seeing what he and Quiet were doing, like all the champagne was spiked, everyone was past the out, I don't drink. Diddy had that man in the room. Yes. I put my ear to the entryway, and I brought the telephone because Diddy began going in overdrive. I don't know what was happening. Yet I recently heard slapping against cheeks. I mean, do all of you remember that video circling where Easygoing was chilling in the pool, looking a bit awkward, while Diddy drifted close by, considering him daddy and discussing Tame's investing effort? Definitely, that one. It's difficult to fail to remember that a few people are drawing an obvious conclusion, recommending it could have been shot just after whatever went down between Quiet and Diddy in that room. Man, you are doing it. Man v it. Daddy, you are investing that energy. Glad for you. I love you definitely. Docile was found following a P on Twitter that only posts recordings of harassing each other. Perhaps he was attempting to get familiar with a few new situations for Diddy. Who knows? Yet when individuals got him, he quickly unfollowed the page. And on the off chance that that is sufficiently not to cause a stir, there's more of an old tune of mild surfaced online as of late. And the verses, we should say they paint a really distinctive picture in the track. Accommodating discussions about pursuing his Hollywood dreams. Yet there's this entire segment where he appears to admit to engaging with Diddy in a not-so-exquisite way of becoming wildly successful, and afterward he's requesting grace for his activities. I really want to believe that they excuse me for what I music with, for me, what I with. It's really deplorable to see what is happening unfold, and it's turning out to be. Subscribe She Spice for more videos.